Friends, enemies, and those who are still in a review, welcome back. This is Jack. Hey, thinking Thursday is a good day to do regular streams. If I'm being honest with you, there's a lot of things that are set to happen on Thursdays. There's usually a lot of game releases that happen on Thursdays or close to Thursdays, so I can use it. That's why I decided, you know what, today's a good day. And there's one thing in particular that makes it really good, and I'll tell you about it in a second. It involves something free. And free is a good price. Don't believe me, you've never been broke. Anyway, mind you, technically nothing's ever free. Like, if you're getting something free, then you're the merchandise. Like, that's like Facebook, Twitter, and all that stuff. I refuse to call it anything else. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Now, I want to start with a story. Not an important story, but I'm going to tell you this story. It looks like my frame rate is garbage right now. Yeah, I'm gonna have to fix something. The stream is gonna lag for a second. 1 second. We're just gonna go to the break screen. All right, that should have did the trick. All right. Basically, I just reduced the amount of kilobytes per second that it's uploading. Because Cliff notes for those who've seen me stream before. I had to factory reset my work computer for trying to troubleshoot an issue. Turns out anyway, not important. So all my OBS settings got deleted, which was perfectly fine because I had lost most of the assets I was using previously anyway for various reasons. So everything had to get reset, including the accounts and stuff like that. So I had to go through and reduce the kilobytes per second because it defaults to like 10,000, and I usually just stream at 5,000. I don't need it to be particularly high. I'm not doing like high-end graphic stuff, and I don't care about 4K. Mind you, if I reduce it down to like 30 frames per second, it really wouldn't be that big of a deal. But I'm like, I got a second computer. I do need to do some upgrading on both computers. We'll burn that bridge later. Anyway, that's not important. I do have a TMI story to tell y'all real fast, and I'm slightly just killing time. So my sleep pattern is foobarred right now. I went to bed like 6:30 yesterday, 6:30 p.m. Woke up about 11:30, so that's about a good 5 hours sleep, okay? Got up, gamed with my little sibling, had a lot of fun. Got to hang out with my buddy Cool Walker. Stayed up until about 4:30ish, because that's about the time my roommate's getting ready for work and all that good stuff. And I'm laying my head down trying to get some sleep because I'm not particularly tired. I don't feel tired. I know I need to sleep. So I lay down. My little buddy Zane, who's sitting on the chair next to me, that's why you saw me look over like that. He decides I'm gonna go use the restroom right now. And the bathroom is the community bathroom, whatever you want to say, is connected to my bedroom because the master bedroom has its own bathroom, which is what my roommate uses. So that's pretty much just my bathroom. And that's where the litter box is, obviously. Where else are you going to keep it? And he goes in there and just takes a massive dump. A horrible dump. And I knew it was going to happen, too, because I was like, I'm half awake. Like, I'm drifting in and out. And by the way, if you're wondering what that is, because this keeps popping up, it's just a hand for when you're doing art stuff. It keeps popping up behind me. Anyway, and the horrid smell just keeps me awake. It's like, I'm up. Guess I'm not sleeping. So, I did eventually get a little bit. Like, I got a good 2 hours now. I'm back up. So, I know that was a lot of TMI, but I wanted to tell the story. It has nothing to do with geek stuff, but it has to do with my cat, which is very important to me. Anyway. I was just joining my Discord down below. All right, we're going to get to the actual stories. So, the price of free is awesome. If you don't believe me, you've never been broke. And for those who don't know, Epic Games, every Thursday, drops a free new game. It's a game that's probably been in their store for a while. I've never seen them drop a brand new game, except for once. I got a copy of, I think it was Total War Rome 2, like shortly after it came out, or no, it was Rome 2, or was it Three Kingdoms? Either way, like shortly after the game came out, I was like, all right, well, fucking take it. And it happens every Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that's why I kind of decided today to be a good day to stream. I can talk about anime stuff, stuff in the news, and this is just a good, consistent piece I can talk about. This one, they usually do like special holiday stuff, like mystery game unlocks and 60, is Return to Moria. And this is actually a game that's been on my wish list for a long time. It's a crafting survival game. It's not like it's free crafting survival, but you're a set of dwarves who are going down into Moria, and you build like these outposts along the way, going further and further in. I've heard it's not too particularly fun, if I'm being honest, but it's free, and it's a game that's been somewhat on my wish list. That's why I've been putting off buying it for so long. So I am looking forward to this. I might dig around and play it on my Jack Daedalus channel, or hell, I might and release maybe even release some video or review of it on here. But it does look like a gorgeous game. Um, it does look like a gorgeous game, and it looks like I could have some fun with it. If you're a Lord of the Rings fan, it probably is fun. So, and then they of course apparently have some DLC stuff. So, anyway, this is free. It's free until next Thursday, and it's not free, and then you only can play it until next Thursday. No, like once you buy it, it's bought for $0. It's yours forever. There's a lot of games in my library that are that way. Like the Castlevania collection, same thing. That was like 2-3 weeks ago. Star Wars Skywalker Saga, that was free until just today. There's a lot of games that I've collected on here for free. Sifu, I think, is one of the few games I've actually bought. Um, but yeah, you can see like even Guardians of the Galaxy. Um, there's just like a lot of free games. I think that's one of the only other free ones, or one of the other ones I paid for. So keep that in mind. You can get a lot of games, and I even own Fallout New Vegas in both Steam and here. Hey, Gothic. And the reason why I have it on both is in case I lose access to Steam, I'll still have access to the game, and you can access the same save files, so it's still not a big deal. Um, anyway, so yeah, it's free. Go flip over to. I would say if you don't already have an Epic account, go ahead and flip over. Just get the free game. It's a good deal in my opinion. Now, if you were to buy something, you could use the code word Daedalus, um, Daedules, and give me creator credit. It puts money in my pocket at no additional cost for you. I felt required to have to say that. I really don't care. Like, if you want to do it, cool. Like, especially if you already play like Fortnite or something. Speaking of Fortnite, actually, I wasn't going to tell this story, but now I'm going to because it just made me think of it. So Fortnite apparently has a new mode. I'm going to pull it up. Yeah, here it is. So this is kind of an odd thing for me. Fortnite has a first-person shooter mode. And that's interesting to me. Like, not gonna lie, like the way the map is laid out and stuff like that, this feels like it's more like CS:GO. And I don't know how to feel about that because for the longest time to me, Fortnite was a third-person shooter. Like that's just the way to describe it. It was the third-person shooter because there's been like several other games that tried to copy it and it just didn't work out. But now it's like, you know what? Let's have a first-person shooter mode, which is probably for the best because like there's a report out. I can't. Let me see if I can go find the article I saw because I've got several articles up and I didn't grab this one. Apparently, the estimate is 30 bots per match. If you drop into a Fortnite match, there are 30 bots, according to like internet sleuths. So I don't know how true it is, but internet sleuths are really freaking scary. I feel that's enough to talk about that story. I'm who? Why do people keep mentioning me? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. D&D stuff. Move on to the next story. I got some anime stuff I want to bitch about, but that's not today's stories. All right. This one is actually a good story. It's rare that you have game companies do a good thing. It's even rarer when it's EA doing a good thing. And I saw the headline at first, I'm like, oh, they're going to do something horrible with this. I don't trust EA. But then I'm actually reading the article, I'm like, you know what? Let's hope they don't mess this up. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt on this. EA announces it will patent 23 accessibility technologies that will be available to developers royalty-free to reduce or eliminate as many barriers to access as possible and empower our gamers. Basically, they're patenting it so other people can't stop other developers from using it. It just gives them positive control over the technology. And when they're talking about accessibility, they're not just talking about like people who have color deficiency, so they have trouble seeing certain colors or hearing issues. There's a lot of other things that they're going to be doing. Like here, they actually give some pretty good examples. Um, Emotion-based music style change using deep learning, which I don't like because that's using AI stuff, but I'm more okay with that. Intelligent personalized speech recognition. Um, like this is some stuff they haven't even released publicly yet, and they're already like we're patenting it, but it's free to use. Have fun with it. Developers can use the Iris plugin in real time as their game is running to detect luminescent flashes, red saturation flashes, and spatial patterns that can prove harmful to players. With basically, it's helped to prevent epilepsy. I can say words, and like of all things, it's goddamn EA doing something good. They have the resources and finances to make this, and instead of saying no, it's ours, no one can touch it, because like I think Ubisoft was particularly guilty of like some really good quality of life stuff. Um, they turn around and go, no, like we're going to keep the patent on it to protect it, but you can use it. It's free. Have at it, Hoss. And I love it. Like EA doesn't get it. Like when EA does something good, I want to give them credit. Let's give them credit for this one. All right. You know, the once a century thing they do good. Moving on to the next one, we're going to be talking about the new Avatar series because I actually like Avatar. I actually like Korra, which gets me a lot of grief. Um, so I'm gonna start. I'm gonna preference this. I'm gonna start and preference this. If if your critique, your anger towards Legend of Korra, or any other of the Avatar series, or actually any game or TV series, involves the word woke, I already don't trust your opinion. Like anything else you say, gone. Anything you've said before, anything you said is after, I'm not listening to because that is not a valid critique. Now, with this asterisk in place, if it's something like CW is guilty about this, if it is, um, if it is inclusion by committee, like it's like okay, here's these check boxes we need to make sure we get, and it feels super forced. Okay, then I can kind of understand it, understand the issue. There are some games and movies and TV shows that are really guilty about this. I call out CW on it because you look at the cast and you feel like they are like it doesn't feel natural sometimes. It feels like it's very checkboxy because it's always the same. In fact, I want to say there was like some script writer. He actually said if you're a minority, you don't get called on the first day of casting. You get called on the like 2 days later when they're like, okay, now we need to like fill in like for the minority characters to make sure that we hit the check boxes. So it's actually a thing. That's not a joke. Now, so that's if your critique of an anime, TV show, game, whatever uses the word woke anywhere, or I think that's where you're coming from, I'm gonna ignore you. I don't care how much I trust you. So I bring that up because this comes up in this conversation. So, screenshots and details about the new series is coming out. And it actually addresses several things that I was really concerned about. So, it continues on after Korra, because Korra's dead by this point. Probably her life got really shortened, like really shortened, because of the events of both season 3 and season 4. Because like Korra fought constantly and had PTSD just building. And I love that they addressed it. They had a lot of things they addressed in the series that I really appreciate. Because you don't see like Aang really dealing with too much PT. Oh, that's a lie. Because like book 3, he had PTSD, but he gets over it pretty damn quick. Whereas Korra deals with it throughout all the series. But anyway, this is there was more images, but they got pulled. This is the images released. Now, the reason why I went on that rant is her right there. She is the Avatar. And people are like, oh, they're making her a minority. Okay, first off, she's an earthbender, and earthbenders typically had darker skin, except for like Toph and stuff. Well, they were also more Asian in nature too, but that's not Asian, I should say Chinese in a like aesthetic and stuff. And she's missing a leg. Okay, first off, Toph in the first series, blind, but kicked the ass of everybody. In fact, I don't think she lost a fight almost at all. You see a major airbender technology not airbender, like kind of helped rebuild the airbender nation, like technology, like implemented it, was paralyzed, like from the waist down, but had a flying wheelchair. Really cool stuff. So if your complaint is she's missing a leg, you can go to hell right then and there. But I think this is kind of cool. I'm kind of interested. Now, the other thing that caught my attention, by the way, this is apparently a guy named Gravecaller, aka Kurth Chronicle. So if you're wanting to see what else they drop, is this right here. This is a really freaking big deal to me. So if you look at the technology change between Last Airbender to Korra, it basically went from feudal times, like period of the Three Kingdoms, Sengoku time, all the way to World War One. That's a big jump in about 100 years. A really freaking big jump. So I was like, where the frick are they going to be for the next Avatar? Like, what are you going to do? Like, how are you going to move forward with it? Like, where's the technology going to be? Is it going to be super futuristic? Is it going to turn into a sci-fi? Apparently, some sort of, like, apocalypse happens because of the spirits. Because remember, in Korra, she opens the gate between the spirits. And that seems to have messed with the environment itself. So, this is interesting to me. This addressed that question, and it looks like her mentor following her is obviously an airbender. Like, originally people were suggesting that there's going to be a twin avatar situation, and there still might be. But her master following her is an airbender, which typically earthbenders and airbenders like have a hard time teaching a Jedi. I do like the screenshot too. So this is gonna be interesting because you can see the staff, you can see the tattoo on his forehead, and he doesn't have the bald. He's not bald because like even what's her face, who became a master at the youngest age in Korra, she got her head shaved too. So that tradition may have died off, or he just chose not to do it. It may just be a choice thing. I'm looking forward to this. Now, technically, this is a leak, but whatever. All right, let's move on to the last story I have, and then it's going to be me talking about anime stuff. Who is messaging? No one. Okay. We'll also probably be talking about some memes because I want to. I don't need more of a reason than that. All right, this is actually something that came across my timeline. Not that it's a scam, but that it even exists. All right. So apparently you can rent a gaming computer. And it's not rent to own. It's you just rent it. You don't own it, you're renting it. And off the bat, that seems like a bad idea. Because just renting something, you usually end up paying more, like renting a house. Renting a house or renting an apartment, house, whatever, you end up paying a lot of money versus how much it's actually worth. Because in this specific instance, you have the landlord who has to pay the mortgage or pay for the property taxes and everything, and then you have to pay on top of that. So if you had just bought it, the only advantage to like renting an apartment, for instance, is if my water heater burnt out in my apartment because I'm renting, I don't have to pay a dime to fix it. And my rent might go up a little bit, maybe, possibly. Mind you, because this is a big complex, usually that doesn't happen because they can diversify the cost among all the apartments. So that's another conversation. This is a PC rental program. And that seems like a bad idea to begin with because PCs, they have like a 5-year life expectancy if you have a spinning drive, the classic HDD in it. Because those have a 5-year life expectancy before they start burning out. And if you know how to repair it, PCs can last a bit longer, but by the end of the 5 years, actually after the end of the 3 years, the technology in it is considered ancient. And it'll start breaking on you, so you'll start having issues. Not to mention, you probably have to reinstall Windows at some point, because Windows starts getting confunky too. I'm trying to watch my language here. So, apparently, NZXT is a company that does it, and internet sleuths have busted that it's a scam. And it's exactly the reason I said. It's very freaking expensive comparative to just building and buying one. Thank you, Captain America. For those who can't see chat, Gothic just said language. Gothic's my little sister. So, for a $3,000 built gaming PC, Game Nexus calculates that you could get a pay-per-month loan from Affirm Credit, which I've actually used them. They're not bad. I've had good experiences with them. I'm not sponsored by them either. With a relatively high 22% interest and pay only $369 extra after 1 year. This is you buying it and paying a loan on it, and this is not a traditional loan where you have collateral. It's just they look at your credit score and go, "Hey, you seem to like you'll be able to pay it off." Even if you get a personal loan at 36%, the maximum for an under $10,000 loan in most U.S. states, beyond what you would enter in loan shark territory, you'd pay 6,504. Now, there is federal law and state law where if interest rates are above a certain percent, it is considered loan sharking. That is very good regulatory practices. And then you have NZXT Flex. Now remember, this is not a loan. This is you renting. So you even at the end of it, you won't own it. You won't own a darn thing, and you can't pay it off early. Which, according to Gamers Nexus, is equivalent to 103% interest rate over 5 years with a final price of $15,504. Remember, you're paying $3,000. That's what you end up paying for a computer that you never earned. That makes it a goddamn scam. And even if like you're renting it purely like, oh, there's a big tournament coming up in Call of Duty and I think I'm gonna win, yeah, don't do it. Like they even point that out here in the article. On Tuesday, Next issued a press release and a video addressing the points GamerNext without explicitly mentioning it. We messed up, said CEO. So basically, it sounds like they're gonna try and like fix the prices. I don't believe it. It's as even in here they're saying this is non-standard apology, non-apology, standard non-apology. If you want good examples, Penguinzo does a lot of good videos of horrible apologies. And so if you're going to get a computer and you can't afford it like flat out and you want something like this, just freaking do it alone if you have to. Like, yeah, putting on credit's a bad idea. And trust me, I've had to declare bankruptcy. I know how bad credit is. Mind you, that was because I went from the Navy paycheck to unemployed for a long time. So, my own damn fault. I look like I have a second chin right now, and it's bothering me. I have put back on a little bit of weight, so I'm a little disappointed in myself. Completely off topic. Anyway, that's something to consider. They're just NZXT just got called out. We're just gonna call them Next because I think that's what they're trying to call themselves. Got called out, and now they're like damage control. I need a haircut. All right, so end of the line. We're gonna be talking about some anime, unless somebody's got a news article, and then we got some memes I'm gonna talk about because I have a Discord channel where people share memes, save for work ones, and I want to cover that. All right. We're going to talk about the new episodes of anime that I've been watching, because there's some I watch on repeat because they have decent English and I can just listen. So almost every anime I've been watching this week has the betrayal episode and the mind control episode, and it's bothering the hell out of me. Like, it actually, like, really irks me. Like, they've done, like, the super annoying cliffhanger, and, if there's any of these are animes you're going to watch, go ahead and skip this section. I'll let y'all know when I move on to the memes, because I'm going to be talking about some of the content. This one pretty much is a whole dream sequence. I actually skipped through most of it, because like I knew it was a dream sequence. It was just freaking annoying. Like, he doesn't wake up halfway through. He doesn't wake up until like the damn end, and it's freaking annoying. Like, Goodbye Dragon Life is one of those animes that you're going to want to wait for it to finish to watch it. Like, legitimately. It has so many, like, annoying cliffhanger episodes without much having happened. The only thing you might want to watch right now is the first episode, and that's purely because the snake girl is freaking adorable. Like, when she's first introduced, she tries to do, like, a snake charming dance, but it's just, like, super derpy about it, so it's just so adorable, and I relate to it. By the way, I have started watching Spy X Family. I've already seen Beast Tamer, like, 5 times, and Saint Magic Power Omnipotent. Do Damsel. Once again, you have the betrayal episode, and like, it's a character that was established in the original timeline, because once again, she's like a 7-year time reset that she's on. The character like seppuku'd themselves to prevent from being used as a hostage. So you're like, you trust her, and then she just betrayed the emperor. But apparently she got betrayed too, so we'll see how that happened. Maybe in the original timeline, this is how things worked out, but considering how like the emperor was in the original timeline, I don't see that happening. There's no betrayal in this one. It's pretty much exactly how you expect it. But even like her little henchman, friend, whatever you want to call him, got mind controlled. I released a video talking about it. Greatest talker. There is no mind control in this one, but he's just like a super manipulative person, and it's really annoying. Like, in this one, he follows through on destroying a really good B tier party. He tricks them into applying for becoming a clan. They get rejected. Then he uses them as a stepping post to prove that he is better than them. So they have to fight a monster they're not ready for, because the monster has the ability to read minds and therefore can act faster than you can. He tricks like he sets them up so they have to fight it in a competition. Lets them go first, just lets them cut through everything, get their asses kicked, and then steps in and takes it out. And the only reason he's able to take it out is because of his class, his brain literally runs faster than everybody else's because he's meant to be a tactician. And then he does parallel processing, so it's basically the monkey thing trying to read both minds to the point that it rips out its own eye, the eye that lets it read your mind. And it's like I like that it's doing a dark main character, but it really feels like it's going overboard with the emo character aesthetic. And it like because all dark animes seem to want to do that. Like R Fuente is a good example. Season 3 is going strong with it. It was a good slice of life episode, as close as you get, where like they're just like semi celebrating finishing the labyrinth. You get to see like their interpersonal relationships a bit more, stuff like that. And then Spirit Chronicles, this whole anime has the same problem. Every episode, every season, it's a lot of things that happen with no resolution until the final episode. We have like 2 episodes left on it, I think, and it's not bad. Reincarnated as Aristocrat was like one of the only ones that didn't have like a betrayal in it, and it was like really adorable. They built a snowman at one point. It's really cute. And then the last one that I watched that's new is the healer was banished from. I have a lot of issues with this anime. I legitimately do. It has a lot of they set up to the audience, then they set up with these characters, then they resolve it with the characters, and that's over 3 episodes. So freaking annoying. Where like nothing happens. They have whole episodes where they're like talking about their feelings while nothing's going on. Once again, with no like civilization building, world building. It's just them talking. Like probably one of the best examples is they have an episode where they reveal like one of the other characters loves another. Like they reveal it, like you kind of knew, but they officially reveal it where the character addresses it with themselves. Then they do an episode where they admit to it. Then they do an episode where they finally deal with it and they're like, okay, yeah, we're in a relationship. That's 3 separate episodes. Like that's not the full episodes, but it's like 75% of the episode, and it's so freaking tedious. This is definitely one you want to wait until it's in. Not to mention the banished from the heroes or banished from his party is like 3 or 4 episodes. Like that's the first 3 or 4 episodes, and then it's not brought up again. It's just done with. Like him not being liked by the town or being made fun of by the town, resolved in 5. And the rest of everybody's like, no, he's actually a badass, and we knew the whole time. Okay. So it's freaking annoying. So yeah, they had the betrayal episode today of something. I'm not going to get into that. I lied. I think there's one more episode or one more anime I watched that I wanted to bring up. No, that is all the animes that I was watching. Knights and Magic is decent. There's a character that annoyed the piss out of me to the point I almost stopped watching. It's this princess like that's fleeing from a castle or trying to flee, trying not to flee actually because because the castle's under attack. Her dad's like doing the stalling for time by sacrificing himself, and she's like, "No, I can't leave my dad." And, like she just got so freaking annoying. But overall, the anime is good. It has magic, it has giant mech suits. Win, 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 win. This actually, the regular Magic High School does a really good job of combining technology and magic. Like, if for no other reason, watch it for that. The main character is a Deus Ex Machina in his own right, so be wary of that. Beast Tamer is probably one of the best animes that does a good job of doing the hero banished from a party and I'm dealing with it. Like, legitimately does one of the best examples of it. Which one? Knights and Magic? Beast Tamer, by the way, is somewhat a harem anime. He, like, eventually in the manga, he does end up dating, like, all of his familiars that he has, because they're all women, of course. But for the most part, they act like they're just friends. Like, they recognize each other as friends. I'm semi-watching Spy X Family. I haven't binge-watched it, which is not a bad thing for the anime. It's just I haven't felt compelled to. But it is adorable. It is cute. I'm only on, like, episode. I've, like, watched up to, like, she goes to the school and they do, like, the whole castle spy thing. I actually, like, skipped a lot of it. All right. But if you're looking for another one, Banished from Party, this one's another. Oh, not that one. Sorry. Where is it? I just saw it a second ago. This one right here. This is probably one of the other really good ones. Like he's banished from the hero's party. That's pretty much dealt with over the whole first season, and he builds a nice relationship because it's the quiet life part. Builds this relationship with a person he used to travel with before. They fall in love. whole second season is them like addressing their relationship while dealing with like the fallout of the heroes party disbanding. It's really good. Like that's legitimately one of the really good animes about dealing with the kick from a heroes party. There's like some really bad ones too. Like really freaking bad because I really hate animes that have like the super overpowered character where like nothing's ever a problem for them. Oh, Hunting Secrets yeah, that's on my watch list. I haven't watched it yet. I was semi watching a certain scientific railgun. It didn't catch my attention, but I also wasn't paying too much attention. Same with Let This Grieving Soul Retire. Like there's a couple in here that I've like watched an episode. Do not watch this one. Do not watch this one unless you can deal with cringe. Like the main character is so annoying. I shall survive using healing potions. It's another one of those overpowered characters, but it's semi entertaining. Even if the inner palace is pretty good, it has like a slight bit of intrigue. Which one? The one not to watch. Combatants will be dispatched. I've talked about it several times. Realist Hero is really good. This one got on my nerves. I didn't. My older sibling finished watching it. That's why it says I finished it. I didn't. Mostly because like she gets really stalkery, the main character, and it's like, okay, I'm good. I don't need. Raven of the Inner Palace is another one. If you like Apothecary Diaries, it takes place also in like feudal China, but it has like a lot of ghost stuff and a bit of intrigue. It's pretty good. Onyx Equinox. That's the no, that's not the one you were talking about. Doctor Elise is really good. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a dub, but it's still good. I hope it gets a season two. High School DxD. It's supposed to be getting another season, I think, which would be season five. And like, yes, it's a harem anime. I always bitch about those. Characters rather overpowered, but he actually has to struggle a lot. So I actually do enjoy it for that. And but it's actually an anime I didn't. I enjoyed a long time ago. I don't know if I still do, and I'm hoping he gets another season. I was trying to rewatch it just to like remember everything, but I couldn't. So. Once again, anime not to watch. Combatants will be dismatched. If you want, watch the first episode. You'll see why I hated it so much. Like if you know my personality, you know why I hated it. I've bitched about it a lot too. So. Eighth Son, Are You Kidding Me is not bad. Once again, overpowered main character. He doesn't really feel like he struggles too much. Like the struggle that he does do is like very soft struggling, so it's not that big of a deal. Anyway, now we're gonna finish up with the memes. I haven't looked at these memes yet, just because I hadn't gotten around to it. So I'm gonna be doing these one at a time. These are memes that are shared in the community. All right, we got three good ones. Actually, there's a fourth one I'm going to pull up. I got to look for it. July and April. I'll have to look into that one if it broke you. There's actually two in this category. Elon Musk wants to buy Hasbro now so he can get his mitts on D&D. I want to be mad but honest. It's on brand. D&D Dungeons & Dragons would be owned by a literal dragon. He's a monster swollen with avarice, lying on a pile of ill-gotten wealth. He's worth like 300 and some odd billion dollars. And every few days he stumbles out of his case to destroy something. He's destroyed Twitter. He's destroyed a handful of other things. Very appropriate. I like that one. This one feels appropriate because I'm from Florida originally. Alabama man, I've dealt with Florida, 35, is charged with illegally owning an attack squirrel he fed meth and called D's nuts. I'm sorry, what? And of course, I got to bring up this one because I love freaking Portal. J.K. Simmons rules. When life gives you lemons, make lemonades! I got to find the other one that I really liked. I don't remember all the places I shared it, so give me a second. Because I don't actually save these on the side, which is dumb of me. Saved it here? Or did I save it up here? Memes. Oh. I know I definitely saved it in my conversations with Cool Walker because it's D&D oriented, and I always send that stuff to him. It's just the problem is that me and him talk a lot, so I'm just gonna open this one up fully because it's a really big thing. Elon Musk is considering buying Hasbro to secure the rights to D&D. So he can add this rule. Rule 1. When playing with Sir Elon of Musk, he and he alone shall be permitted to use the Epic dice. And it's just a dice with all the D20s with a derpy version of him. And then the community notes, because it's supposed to be a tweet. Elon Musk does not have 3 friends to play with, D&D. Paid for them. Because he's supposed to be like one of the top players in Diablo 4 right now. But I'm like, there is literally no way he's one of the top players. He has, 1, no time to do it. He runs like 12 companies. And 2, he's an idiot. If you've looked at his Elden Ring build, he's an idiot. Hang on, I'm going to pull up his Elden Ring build. Like, this is like, if you've played Elden Ring, it hurts you on the inside. This is his Elden Ring build. He has 2 swords. One is the Moonlight. The other is Rogier's Rapier. 2 shields, which I swap out shields based on like what I'm fighting. I don't need to carry both. I forget the name of that staff. I think it's called the Lisette staff. He's wearing the helmet of whatchamafuck, which is I just said the F word. I was trying to avoid that. Which does help with your spellcasting. So that does have some intelligence behind it. He has the Rod Against Source Seal, which just to help his physical, because like he's carrying, and he's still heavy load because he's an idiot. The Turtle Talisman. By the way, this is pre-DLC, so like the twin-headed one doesn't exist. The Graven School, and then the extra health. Like you don't need the extra health because it's very minuscule to begin with. Then he's got some of the dumbest use of Ash's spirits. Not he just might like them. He's got the skeleton one, which I do use because it's good for stalling because they get back up. The puppets, and forget that one, but he's one of the legendary ones. Then again, to me, there's really only 2, and this is not even all the good stuff. I'll show you something in a second. And look at his stats; they're all over the place. He's got 31 vigor, which to me you need at least 40, but that's another conversation. Mind, okay, that's a decent amount of casting. Endurance, his endurance is garbage with the amount of carrying he's doing. He should really just drop one of the shields and choose one of those swords, and he's good. He doesn't also need to be wearing Radahn's armor. There's some better choices. His health is insane, but that's also like he doesn't need it to be that high. And his poise is only 54. If you're like wearing heavy armor, go ahead and get to 62. That way you won't stagger. And that's not even the worst part. Hang on, let me show you the worst part. Because it cuts off where you can't see it. Here's where the worst part is. To me, it's the worst part because I've done casters. These are the spells he uses. Like, some of those are fun to use, but they're not good. There's only 2 you really need to get away with, and it's Glintstone Dagger, because it's the basic spell you can just spam. If you're like, you just are dodging and then attacking with it, that's what you're going to use. And then if you've got wind-up time, then the Loretta's Bow, or the upgraded version of it that you get later on. All the other stuff, like, there's no point. And he only has 5 spell slots. 5 spell slots. So he bought the one from the twin maidens, or twin whatever they're called. And then I don't know where he got the other one. That's like literally the only explanation I have in my head. He found the other one by accident. So either this is like, and it, like he's level 111. There is no way he's early in the game and hasn't like found another one. And he's at least beaten Radahn. Well, mind you, actually that's even funnier to me because Radahn is the only boss fight where you literally don't have to fight him. You can just use all the required spirit summons. I got Zane in my lap now, which he is not staying in my lap because he's in trouble. Trouble for different reasons. Anyway, that's the stream. Thinking about doing this every Thursday. I'll see if I can get some good news stories and some other stuff I want to bitch about. We got some good animes coming up this coming year. I'm looking forward to it. Apothecary Diaries is getting another season. Super happy about that. There's a lot of other animes that are getting a 2nd season, or a 3rd season, or 5th season, or 4th season. Like Tsukimichi's getting its 3rd season. There's like a handful of others. So looking forward to all that. But mind you, Tsukimichi probably won't be until late in the year. And I know Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic is getting its 2nd season. I was really afraid they were going to let that drop. But Crunchyroll is like buying up a lot of rights and like actually doing 2nd seasons right now. because they're like doing a shotgun effect of here's 50 million animes, fall in love with one of them. So that's what I got for y'all. If you like me streaming like this, I'm gonna shoot for every Thursday. My plan is to open up with, of course, calling out what Epic's new game is. Oh, actually, I do got one more thing I want to cover because one of my favorite games just had a DLC drop, and I'm really happy about it. I just want to bring it up real fast, super quick. Oxygen Not Included just got a new DLC called the Bionic Booster Pack. It's like $8, and if you don't have the DLCs, there's like a pack for it. Gives you the expansion and the 2 DLCs. Funny enough, I would have actually gotten it cheaper if I had bought the expansion, the bundle, because it discounted me for the 2 things I already owned, and so it would have been like $5 instead of 7, or instead of 8. So, anyway, in case y'all want to play Oxygen Not Included, it's got that. So, anyway, appreciate y'all being here. If y'all want to know the next time I go live or when I release videos, which I actually probably will cut up this stream a bit. That's why you saw me doing the videos the way I did. You'll the subscribe button. You need to get the watch hours in. See you on the next one.